You try to be liked, but somehow people forget you quickly. You smile, agree, and adjust, yet something still feels off inside. What if the problem isn't effort, but how your brain is wired? And what if one shift could instantly change how people see you? Here's the strange part nobody tells you about attraction and presence. The more you try to be liked, the less people actually feel you. Your brain starts performing instead of expressing anything real or grounded. And that's exactly where your natural attractiveness quietly disappears. But something unexpected happens when you stop chasing approval completely. Your brain shifts from seeking validation to projecting internal certainty outward. People sense this difference instantly, even if they cannot explain why. And suddenly, you become someone they feel drawn toward naturally. Why trying too hard makes you invisible? Your brain is wired to seek social approval as a survival mechanism. So you laugh when things aren't funny just to maintain connection. You say yes, even when your mind clearly wants to refuse. And slowly, you train yourself to disappear inside social situations. This creates a subtle but powerful problem most people never notice. You stop expressing your real thoughts, preferences, and emotional reactions fully. Your personality becomes filtered, softened, and carefully edited for acceptance. And that makes you predictable, safe, and ultimately forgettable to others. But here's where it gets interesting from a psychological perspective. People are not attracted to perfection, they are drawn to authenticity. Your brain recognizes real signals as rare and worth paying attention to, and anything rare automatically becomes more valuable in social environments. The magnetic shift, authenticity. Magnetic people don't try to impress, they simply express themselves honestly. They say what they think without needing everyone to agree instantly. They don't perform reactions just to match the energy of others. And that creates a strong, grounded presence people can actually feel. Your brain interprets this as confidence, even if it's just honesty. Because confidence is not loud behavior, it's internal alignment with yourself. When your actions match your thoughts, your signals become clear and strong. And clarity is something people naturally trust and move toward. But there is one hidden shift happening beneath the surface here. You stop needing validation, and your brain reduces social anxiety automatically. That calm internal state changes how your voice, posture, and eye contact feel. And people respond to that energy before they even hear your words. Body language, your silent signal. Before you speak, your body is already telling a complete story. Closed posture signals insecurity, hesitation, and a desire to disappear quietly. Open posture signals comfort, confidence, and a sense of belonging naturally. And people react to that story without consciously thinking about it. Most people shrink themselves without even realizing they are doing it. They look down, tighten their arms, and avoid taking up any space. This trains the brain to feel smaller in social environments over time, and others unconsciously treat them as less important because of it. Here's the shift that changes everything in your physical presence. Relax your posture and allow your body to take up space calmly. Keep your head up and your movements steady and intentional, and your brain will start reinforcing a new identity of confidence. The power of silence. Most people think talking more makes them more interesting to others, but the brain actually values scarcity, including words in conversation. When you speak less, your words carry more weight and importance, and people begin to listen more carefully to what you say. Silence creates curiosity, and curiosity pulls people closer toward you. When you pause, others naturally wonder what you're thinking next. That small gap creates tension, and tension keeps attention focused. And attention is the foundation of attraction in any interaction. But something strange happens when you start using silence intentionally. You feel uncomfortable at first because your brain fears social rejection. Yet if you stay calm, that discomfort transforms into quiet control, and others begin to respect your presence without you forcing anything. Think before you speak. Your brain often rushes to fill silence with unnecessary words quickly. This happens because silence feels like social risk to most people. So they speak without thinking, just to remove that discomfort immediately. and that weakens the impact of everything they say afterward. When you pause, you interrupt this automatic reaction inside your brain. You give yourself space to think, organize, and respond intentionally. And that small delay signals confidence and emotional control to others, because calm thinking is rare in fast, reactive social environments today. At quiet growth, this idea appears in a simple but powerful form. Small behavioral shifts compound into major identity changes over time. Thinking before speaking is not about silence, but about precision. And precision is what makes your presence feel sharp and memorable. Stop seeking approval. Every time you check for validation, your brain reinforces dependency patterns. Likes, comments, and opinions start controlling how you see yourself. And slowly, your internal confidence gets replaced by external feedback loops. That makes your behavior feel unstable and uncertain to others. But here's where it becomes deeply psychological and surprisingly powerful. When you stop seeking approval, your brain builds internal validation instead. You start trusting your own decisions without needing constant reassurance. And that self-trust becomes visible in everything you do naturally. People are drawn to those who don't constantly ask for permission, because it signals independence, strength, and emotional stability subconsciously. And those traits are deeply attractive from a psychological standpoint, even if no one consciously explains why they feel that way. Detachment creates attraction. The most magnetic people are okay with not being liked by everyone. They don't chase attention, and they don't force connections to happen. This creates a sense of emotional distance that feels intriguing to others, and people naturally move closer to understand that energy better. Your brain values what feels slightly out of reach or uncertain. When something is too available, it becomes easy to ignore. But when something feels selective, it becomes more interesting immediately. And that's how detachment quietly increases your perceived value. This doesn't mean being cold or distant in a negative way. It means being grounded enough to walk away when needed. And that ability signals that you respect your own time and energy, which makes others respect it too, without you asking directly. Become the person who attracts. Stop chasing conversations, attention, and validation from everyone around you. Instead, focus on how you show up in each moment internally. Because attraction is not something you force, it's something you project. And projection always begins with how your brain sees yourself first. When you become comfortable being alone, everything starts to change. Your need for attention disappears, and your presence becomes more grounded. People notice that calm independence and feel curious about you. And curiosity is what pulls them into your world naturally. But here's the deeper shift most people never fully understand. You stop trying to be attractive and start becoming authentic instead. And authenticity is what your brain recognizes as real and valuable, which makes others feel safe and interested around you instantly. You were never unattractive. You were just trying too hard before. Your brain was trained to seek approval instead of expressing truth. That created tension, insecurity, and a lack of real presence. And people could feel that without knowing exactly why. Now you understand the pattern behind natural attraction and confidence. Be real, take space, pause, and stop needing constant validation. Let your brain build internal certainty instead of external dependency, and allow your presence to speak before your words ever do. Start today by changing one small behavior in your next interaction. Pause before speaking, stand confidently, and express one honest thought. That single shift will begin rewiring how your brain shows up. And once you see the change, you won't be able to unsee it.